This is one of the stories about my life on the gray side. I have many to tell, but this one will surely capture your attention. I'm going to take you back in my past to a time when my drinking opened the door to organized crime. I remember that day well. I woke up in the morning sicker than hell. I had the shakes so bad that I couldn't hold a cup of coffee in my hand without spilling it. This wasn't unusual. It was almost a daily occurrence. What was different was my attire and the clean bed that I woke up in. As I slopped cold water on my face, a vague remembrance of the evening before flashed through my mind. I had met a stranger who for some reason wanted to help me get back on my feet. I felt sure I was being conned, but he was buying the drinks, so I went along with him, with whatever pleased him. I remember that he owned a nightclub somewhere, and that he was willing to give me some kind of a job. Other than that, I couldn't remember anything else. My only thought at the time was that I had to get out of this damn place and find me something to drink. What the hell? Most likely I'd never see this guy again, and if I did, I didn't really give a damn. I headed for the door, and as I reached for the knob, it burst open. There was the stranger with two of the meanest-looking characters I'd ever laid eyes on. My instincts told me that if I wanted to get out of there, I better strike first and make it count. Then I better run like hell. I was about to strike when the stranger stepped forward and said, "Good morning, Cash. I got a job for you, bro." "Job hell. I don't want a job. And I'm not your bro. But last night you promised." "Shit, you can't believe anything I say when I'm drunk. You heard me, I don't want a job. Do I have to spell it out for you?" Excuse me while I light up. John set me up in a small suite on the top floor of the Miles Hotel. His bar was on the main floor of the hotel, and his after-hours club was in the basement. My job consisted of doing whatever John asked me to do, which at times became a little flaky. Every morning I was to open the bar in the hotel at 10 o'clock and stay until the day bartender got there. Usually that was around noon. At night I just had to stick around in the club in case there was any trouble, and that's when I'd go into action. John knew that I'd been in the Special Forces and that I was highly trained in martial arts. I guess I must have been pretty mouthy the night that we met. Anyway, it's clear to me now that John wanted to have complete control of my deadly art. My life in the gray world took me from one bad place to another. I was trapped in a position with the Mafioso family, and once a member, always a member. If I tried to leave the organization, a contract would be put out on me, and that's all there was to it. Eventually, I'd find a way to break away from the family, but that's another story. There are 3 Mafia families that operate out of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is the hub of the western USA. The Russian Mafia, the Italian Mafia, and the Chinese Mafia. The Chinese Mafia is known as the Tong, and it was set up in America during the gold rush in Montana and eventually made its way to Salt Lake City. The Italian Mafia grew during the Prohibition era in the USA. It's organized in families, each one its own boss or couple. Families are located in New York, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Miami, Atlantic City, and Chicago. The Russo family was a mafioso in Salt Lake. All the mafias were actively engaged in a feud. Transactional money laundering, extortion, drug trafficking, weapons smuggling, auto theft, white slavery, trafficking, prostitution, hostage taking, extortion, you name it. My problem with alcohol got me involved in this whole scheme of activities. I had actually become one of John Russo's lieutenants. As I've already stated, I eventually broke away, but it took intervention from God and John Russo. But again, that's another story.